talk.
Have genuine love for everybody.
It's a rap.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I watched Parks kick my back in, nigga. Ooh,
that was a good episode.
That shit hurt, right?
It was. When he by himself, I'm gonna get him. Parks was one of my great motivators when I first came up here, yo. Like,
what you think went wrong?
Talk like that. Talk to me outside. Niggas change.
But Flip, what you think goes wrong in all these situations?
I think that you know what it is. I think Parks put the business first. And I think that when something becomes redundant, he always wants the progression of the business.
And it's pretty obvious, no debate, Mark Lamont Hill wasn't fully rocking with that interview. But hold up, that's a whole separate conversation for another time. Right now, I'm skipping ahead past that interview moment. Because listen to this, Flip was just seconds away from turning everything up. Flip was about to go there, and Joe already saw it coming. Every single time Parks gets singled out, he freezes up, like a deer caught in headlights. No exaggeration. He always looks confused, almost shocked. Like, wait, are you really about to say that to me? And honestly, it starts to feel like there's some unwritten rule in place. Nobody is supposed to address Parks directly like that. But here's the twist. Flip clearly doesn't care anymore, and you can see it plain as day. His own platform is gaining real traction again. Flip is putting up numbers. He's moving like someone who isn't relying on the JBP anymore. He's prioritizing his own channel over everything else. So yeah, he was absolutely about to go at Parks. And Joe, he shut that down instantly. Classic Joe move, by the way. He always does this when it comes to protecting Parks. Instead of letting it happen, he throws a question out to the whole room. Anytime Parks or Ice get heat, watch closely. Joe jumps in and redirects the energy. And somehow it always lands on Ish because Joe knows Ish can handle himself. But let's get to the real question. What exactly did Flip say that had Parks stuck? Parks didn't even have a response ready. He looked lost. Like, wait, is that really how I come off? Nah, that's not how you sound. That's how you move. Flip was calling out that slick behind-the-scenes behavior. Let's just keep it real about that. And the reason this hits different is that it feels familiar. It low-key mirrors that old situation with Malcolm Mal-Jabbar. You remember when he kept saying Parks, Parks, Parks? Back when Parks was pushing for more money because he felt like he was doing more work than he was getting paid for. But then, when Joe confronted him directly, suddenly everything was all good and he wanted to stay. Hold up, that looks real two-faced. And Flip was about to expose that pattern. I'm telling you, he was seconds away from shining a light on it. There's a reason he singled Parks specifically, because if Flip is paying attention, and I think he is, he's studying those playbacks. One time, he's focused on Joe. Next time, he's locked in on Mark's comments. Again, that's from Flip's lens, not mine. Then he cycles through everyone else. And when it comes to Parks,
that's where things get interesting. Because Parks moves subtly, really snide. And I've been saying that for a long time now. There's a reason he's known as the one-liner king. Even his jokes carry a certain tone, like he's talking down without saying it outright. Pay attention to how he argues. Listen to the way he speaks to people. There's always a dismissive edge in there. When he's right, everyone lets it slide. But me personally, I'm not letting that rock, because that tone would never sit right with me. But when he's right, they excuse it. They justify it by saying he knows his stuff. But when he's wrong, he never really owns it. He just pivots quickly and moves on. Now imagine Flip catching onto all of that, and then noticing the subtle shots being thrown at him too. Oh yeah, now it's personal. That's why Flip basically said, when it's just you and me. Oh, and listen, this opens up a much bigger conversation. Because to me, Flip might be the only one who actually sees what's really happening up there. Or at the very least, he's the only one bold enough to say it out loud. And there's a reason you're starting to see Flip pop up more and more on the Joe Budden Podcast instead of fading out. Because we've literally seen this exact pattern before. And that clip is still up on my page. Remember when he got suspended the first time? That whole PTO narrative? And everybody was running with it, what I kept saying? Nah, I heard something different. And guess what? I ended up being right. The first time this went down, Flip was already calling things out. Joe didn't like how he was moving. Boom, suspension. But here's what Joe didn't expect back then, and clearly didn't expect this time either.
Flip went right back to his own platform and put in work. Views went up, then more views, then even more attention. More subscribers started tapping in. People began watching what he was doing outside of the JBP, to the point where it became unavoidable. Now it's like, you gotta bring him back. And yeah, it's happening all over again. Joe wants to discipline Flip. He wants to humble him a little, maybe even embarrass him publicly. Because in his mind, Flip needs to be around him. But here's the reality, he doesn't. And I actually respect that Flip is waking everything up. Like when he said he shifted the whole pie dynamic, that wasn't a joke, even if they tried to laugh it off on the show. They didn't even know how to receive that moment. Because you're not supposed to give the class clown real credit, right?
So when Joe was genuinely acknowledging that Flip brought energy back to the podcast, and Flip doubled down like, nah, I know what I did, that hit different. All that engagement around JBTV, that wasn't there before. Me, Danny, the whole community, shout out to everyone contributing to the conversation. None of that existed before Flip stepped in. None of it. Zero. Flip changed the entire dynamic for Joe, to the point where now Joe can fully lean into platforms like Patreon. Because let's be honest, Joe didn't even believe in that model at first. He really didn't. That was more of a last resort move than anything else. Flip and Ian were constantly bumping heads behind the scenes, but Ian was never going to sit there and verbally validate Flip's value. Instead, he showed it through opportunities. More appearances, more responsibilities tied to the JBP, more visibility overall. And now, Flip is making it crystal clear. He's not aligned with everybody up there. We've already seen him clash with Mark. But let's rewind for a second and really ask the question, why is Flip running into issues with so many people? Because from the outside, it's easy to label him as chaotic. It's easy to say he's out of control. Even Melissa called him insolent, which still sounds crazy when you think about it. And yeah, it might look like it's just about his behavior, but it's deeper than that. He's moving like that because he understands the value he brought to the JBP. So when he hears Parks throwing subtle shots at him, like Parks is some elite level talent on the show, of course it's going to hit a nerve. No, we don't get it twisted. I understand Parks' role. I know what he does for Joe, I know what he does for Ian, especially since he helped bring Ian into the spotlight in the first place. So yeah, his importance behind the scenes is real. The engineering, the production, all of that matters. But let's be real for a second. Nobody was tuning in for Parks like that. People weren't checking for his takes. There was a time folks were literally telling him to be quiet, like go back behind the camera. We don't even need to see you on screen. But now, listen to this. Because he's been around longer than everybody else, he feels like that gives him the right to talk down on them, and that's wild. And I need y'all to really lock in here, because the only reason I'm even highlighting this is that Flip opened that door. I honestly don't care like that, but he said it. And the more I watch, the more I realize he wasn't wrong. And here's the part people are missing. You're about to start seeing this same pattern play out with B-Dot.
B-Dot has been leveling up every single episode. He's getting way more comfortable on that mic. And if Joe doesn't pull him to the side and tell him to chill on ice and parks, then trust me, something's coming. Because B-Dot is not the type to back down once it gets there. And when that moment happens, you're gonna see a completely different side of Parks. Then right after that blow up, watch what happens next. They're never gonna clash like that again, because that conversation will happen behind closed doors. See, there's this unspoken rule. You don't press Parks. You don't call him out. You definitely don't tell him he's wrong. But here's where it gets interesting. The difference between B-Dot and Flip is night and day. Flip will poke, joke, and stir the pot just to get a reaction. But B-Dot? Nah, he's coming with substance. He's gonna challenge Parks mentally. He's gonna challenge him musically. That's exactly why he circled back to that whole musicality conversation when that Swizz Beatz track came on again. Yeah, Parks had the textbook definition right, but in my opinion, his actual take on that Swizz Beatz production was off. And let's be real, we've heard Parks' work before. To me, that doesn't put him in a position to critique Swizz the way he does, but that's a whole different conversation. And if it feels like I'm going extra hard on Parks right now, it's because I am. I'm not even hiding that. There's actually another angle I want to take this in, but I'm holding off until the next explosion happens, because trust me, it's coming. It's definitely coming. Every time Parks makes that side-eye face while half looking at you, something is brewing in his head. He's not letting that slide. He's gonna take shots at Flip, but now Flip is backed into a corner on the JBN. And instead of folding, he's gonna swing back. He's gonna fire in every direction. And that's when the labels start coming back. They're gonna call him difficult again. They're gonna say he's the problem again. That's why I'm telling y'all, pay close attention moving forward. This situation isn't over. It's just getting started. And for some reason, Flip is trying to keep things cool with Ice right now. But I'm telling you, his energy toward Parks is about to shift. And honestly, he needs to keep that same pressure for Ice too. Ice shouldn't be getting a pass in any of this. None of them should. Not when it comes to how they move with Flip. And Flip, if I'm being real, if I was in your position, I'd go quiet.
But here's the twist. He already tried that. He did that for months. He sat there silent on set, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, saying nothing, because he was proving a point. Like, without me, this turns into a completely different show. An older, slower version of the podcast. But Joe caught on to that, and instead of folding, he adjusted. He started bringing in more people, more voices, more personalities. But what people aren't realizing is there's a strategy behind that. He's introducing new faces so the audience gets used to them, so Flip can slowly get less and less time. And Joe is even hinting at it now, saying he's not doing this forever, saying he could see himself going long-term, but with Parks still there. With Parks. And Flip sees all of that. So realistically, he's not going to go to Parks on camera. He's just sending signals, like, I see you, I hear you, I know how you talk when I'm not around, I know how you really view me. But I also know Joe values you heavily, so for now, I'm keeping it cool. But Parks, he's not letting this go. And like I said earlier, that's where B. comes in. Because B. is going to be the one to press the issue. It's not going to be Flip. Because B. is going to feel like his intelligence is being tested, especially when it comes to music discussions. And since Parks handles engineering, production, all things musical, he moves like his opinion is final. Eventually, B. is going to draw a line. And when he does, he's going to look Joe and Parks dead in the face and say, I don't have the same ties to y'all that y'all have with each other. I don't have to fold or play small for you. And the moment B. cracks that barrier, watch closely. You're going to start seeing way more of the co-hosts aiming right at Parks. Hopefully, because as much as Ish and Mona keep trying to frame him like he's one of us, I just don't see them ever really pressing him like that. But I seriously need y'all to start watching Parks more carefully, because normally I'm not even this intense in my breakdowns, but this, I've been calling this out for a long time. None of this is new to me, at all. And then you go check those Patreon comments and it's full of people that look like me going extra hard defending Parks. Let me give y'all a reality check. Parks would never move like that for us. He's not going out of his way to defend us like that. So I need y'all to really sit with everything I just said. Form your own opinions, hit the comments and tell me where you stand. If you rock with the video, go ahead and like it. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. And if you've already been tapped in, then you already know the vibe. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.